So it is now May. I was about to say April 1st, but no, it's May 1st. And I kind of had a weird thing happening that just happened to me today, I guess is the best way to say it. I had like one of those moment of realizations. Like I guess you would actually call it like a moment of realization that you're alive. What is the word? I don't know. That when you're 6 years old and you realize you had sentience, or some age, you just realize, oh wait, I'm alive. As I mess with my hair. So yes, I had one of those today. I realized that a lot of what I want to achieve has yet to be done, and it's mostly time management because I just like to play around with video games from time to time. So like this month, I got back into Genshin, just playing it because I actually like the story, and there's some things in the story that I actually would like to write in my own light novel that I'm using right now. So I got 2 or 3 ideas that I want to implement into my writing. So it's not all wasted effort, but it's whatever. Let's get into the books though. These are the books that I'm reading. There's one in my room, which is the Sam Lacrosse book, Value Economics or something I think it's called. I'm still trying to read that, so that's why I keep it in my room, because just before I'm going to go to bed, if I'm not already laying down, or if I'm not tired enough, I'll just read 2 or 3 chapters, or 3 subsections of a book. It's kind of hard to explain, but you would have like chapter 2A, chapter 2B, stuff like that. I would read a couple of those, and yeah. So there's that book. I have been listening to a lot of books, especially AI voice books. So basically there's this character named Joshua Graham. I haven't played Fallout Vegas part to get to him yet, but this character is a very interesting character. And I know it kind of seems funny, but this character has helped me with my faith a little bit, has gotten me more into my faith. So I've been listening to the audio Bible from him. I've also been listening to a couple books from him. I completed, I think, 2 books. Yes, 2 books from that voiced AI, which is The Art of War. I reread that book, or I listened to the book for the first time, but I've read that book multiple times. And what was the other book? I just had it on top of my head. The Book of 5 Rings from Miyamoto Musashi. I reread that book, or re-listened to that book. I don't know how the best way to put that, but yes, I've been listening to more of that book, and I listened to the whole of that book. So technically, I completed 2 books of April, but I won't count them as my. I won't count them as like my goal of 1,000, because they're not physical books or ebooks. If it's an ebook, I would count that as one of my books to read, or that I've read, but not an audiobook. Audiobooks are good, but it's like it doesn't, on the scale, it's not equal. So anyways, let's get to the update of my books. So I updated you one about already. One of the books I gotta update you is Can't Hurt Me. I only read like 2 or 3 pages after I did a video on him. On the April update, or the April first thing that I did. Tao Te Ching. I kind of just forgot about this book, but it talks a lot about like tradition and whatnot, so I do plan on eventually getting to it this month. Yeah, let's talk about new books. So I started 2 books this last month, and now as you can see later in the let's just say books that I read, politics really don't matter to me, well, at least when it comes to books. So I read book. I read a Bernie Sanders book. I think it came out 2016, 2017, and I think I read it a year later. So I read his book. And so this guy in the next book that I'm going to show you that I started reading, he's very hated. Like I say, when it comes to politics, at least, it doesn't affect my writing or my reading. Trump Never Give Up. How I turned my biggest challenges into success. I think I'm going to do a daily read this, or maybe a bi-daily read, because he has short chapters. So why I would make this as a daily read is because it's like 50-ish chapters, so you can get this whole thing done in like 3 months, roughly. But so far, this is a short book. Tales by Japanese Soldiers, by John Noonley and Kazu Tamayama. Yeah, it's actually Tamamaya. Okay, yeah. I picked this up for research a little bit. Because I kind of want to write my own like nonfiction book about like this is the hardships that Japanese soldiers had to deal with. Because like, sure, they were, I would say, battle maniacs on the field, but they had to deal with some horrible conditions. Like to the point where it's like, even I hate to say this in this way, but I would say like terrorists have a better living condition going against their country versus what Japan had to go through during World War II. A Higher Loyalty by James Comey. Truth, Lies, and Leadership. Like I say, I really don't let politics get to my way. I think people told me he's a Democrat, but I really don't care about that. I just picked this book up from the dollar store, and the first words that the first like 5 words that I saw were literally 9/11, CIA, and John F. Kennedy. Just flipping through the book, and I said, I kind of want to read this book now. So I don't know what it really is about. Just going through that experience, I'm like, I might as well check it out now. So I will read this. It's going to somewhat be a short read, most likely, because of how this book is written in font. I think it's 13 or 14 font. So I'm probably gonna read this through very quickly. And it's a hardback book. And man, I would just hate to see my book in the dollar store. Maybe my book does so well that being in the dollar store wouldn't be a bad idea. But like, this originally cost me $29.99. I mean, it would have costed me that much money. Yikes. So anyways, haven't read any more of this guy's book because it's just a tome, and I like tomes, but tomes take me a while. This book is basically like, it's a really good book that if I ever think about like spending money on books, I will probably buy this in hardcover. But it goes through his whole life, man. A lot of people only see Hirto in 2 lights, as the emperor after the war and the emperor during the war. But like, you get to see like how strict his life was when he was growing up. Like, imagine not being able to see your brothers and your sisters whenever you want. Like, he had to have like special times just for them to like meet at a younger age, and like just to have like tea or whatever. And there will always be adult supervision, so you couldn't talk to your brother about, I don't know, your favorite fantasy book you read or something like that. So haven't read this book yet. I really want to, and when I do, I'll probably read this within 2 to 3 weeks, or or like maybe a week if I just go straight through it. I just love the World War II books. As you can tell, if it's about World War II or like loosely based off of World War II, I'll probably give it a chance just because World Wars, especially World War II, was just like is such a fascinating war to me because there was just so much that just went on in the public, the citizen, and the war sphere. There was just too much. I've read this book 3 years ago, and I kind of want to read it again. Basically, what he talks about is just how to get money, and like you should like always look at things in a simpler view. So, like for example, even if your son is a watchmaker, why force him to be a watchmaker when I don't know if this was exactly the story, but I'm just using it as an example. I think people said his son like made really good stories, like really good fiction stories. So why not do that? You know, instead of like forcing yourself to do what your parents did, do something that'll actually make you happy, and you'll probably make a lot of money out of it. And I don't know how old this book is, but I kind of want to like, maybe make the book like, maybe make it a digital only book or like a very cheap book, or I like read through a section and I give my own personal opinion on it and be like, yada, yada, yada. This is what I think. This is how he kind of like talked about it. I think this book is 100 years old. I'm not 100% sure. That's why I have to like be careful on like if I write the book or not, because technically I think Watchmaker Publishing or whoever owns the rights to P.T. Barnum's book has the rights. So like, I don't know. Anyways, that's my May update. I'll probably get this within May 7th. Because there's just a lot going on. But yeah, I'm excited this month to finally write and read more. Book update for the book that I'm writing. I am writing 2 books so far, but I'm on like 50,000 words so far in my book 2 of this series that I'm making. Since communism never worked in my world, I brought it to another world. I'm very close to finishing the first rough draft, and then I'll go over it with like Grammarly. I will of course read it as I go through it, and then I'll send it to other people so they can tell me how good it is, and then I can just publish the second book. I got some other things to do, like make photos and whatnot, but yeah.